The big hotel hall in Seoul glowed with soft golden lights and quiet music. Old classmates laughed and talked in small groups. ESI Mensa stood alone near a tall window, holding a glass of juice. Her simple blue dress and plain black shoes made her look different from the others. 10 years had passed since they finished university in Seoul. Many had become successful doctors, company directors, and rich business people. ESI worked as a teacher in a small international school. No fancy car. No expensive clothes. Just her. ESI, is that really you? A sharp voice called out. It was Clara, her old classmate who always liked to show off. Clara wore a shining red dress and high heels. She looked ESI up and down with a small smile. Still the same. Where's your car? Did you take the bus? Laughter spread through the group. ESI's face felt hot with shame. She tried to smile, but it was hard. I came by taxi. It is fine. Kofi, another classmate with a big watch and proud smile, stepped closer. No husband? We heard you married a rich Korean billionaire. Where is he? Or was that just a story?
You came from the sun, I came from the snow. Two different worlds, one story to know. You laugh in my chest.
He laughed loudly. Poor ESI. Always quiet in class. Still quiet and living simple. The words hurt deep inside. Tears stung ESI's eyes, but she held them back. She had not wanted to come to this reunion. Her mother had begged her back in Ghana. Go, my daughter. Show them you are okay. But now she felt so small. 3 years ago, her father had huge business debt with a big Korean company. To save the family, he arranged her marriage to Min-jun Park, the young billionaire. It was a forced marriage. Yes, I never wanted it. She never used his money. She never rode in his cars. She slept in her own small room in their big house and spoke very little to him. In her heart, she felt nothing for him. He was just a rich man who took her as payment. More people came to watch. Clara smiled wider. So no rich husband? No driver? You came here like an ordinary person. Yes, I wanted to run away. She turned to leave, but the big doors of the hall opened. Cool night air came in. Everyone looked outside. 3 shiny black cars had stopped in front. The middle one was a long, beautiful Maybach that shone under the lights. The door opened slowly. A tall, handsome man stepped out. He had sharp Korean features, neat black hair, and a perfect black suit. Whispers filled the hall fast. Who is that man? Wait, is that ESI's husband? Min-jun Park walked into the hall with calm, confident steps. His eyes found ESI immediately. She looked away quickly, her heart beating hard. She had not called him. She never asked for him to come. Clara's mouth opened wide. ESI? That is your husband. Min-jun stopped beside her. His voice was deep and gentle. I came to take you home, my wife. Kofi tried to laugh. So the stories are true. Korean billionaire. Very nice cars. But Min-jun did not smile. He looked at Clara and Kofi with steady eyes. You laughed at my wife. You made her feel small because she did not show off money or cars. ESI is a kind woman. She teaches children with love every day. She has a good heart. You should not hurt her with your words. The hall became very quiet. Clara looked down. Kofi touched his watch and said nothing. Min-jun turned to ESI. Let me take you away from here. Please. Anger rose in ESI's chest. I did not call you. Go away, Min-jun. I can take care of myself. People started whispering again. Some looked sorry. Others looked jealous of the beautiful cars outside. ESI walked quickly toward the door. Her old shoes made soft sounds on the shiny floor. Shame burned in her heart. Why did he have to come and make it worse? Outside, the Seoul night was cool and full of city lights. ESI looked for a taxi, but Min-jun's cars blocked the way. He followed her quietly. ESI, get in the car, he said softly. It is late and cold. No, she shouted. She turned and pushed his chest. I never asked for your help. This marriage is not real to me. My father gave me to you because of debt. I hate it. I hate you. Her voice broke. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Min-jun's face showed pain, but he stayed calm. In one smooth move, he lifted her up into his strong arms like she weighed nothing. "Put me down," ESI cried. She kicked her legs and hit his shoulders with her fists. "You proud man. Leave me. I don't want you here." Some classmates came outside to watch. Minjun did not care. He carried her straight to the Maybach. The driver opened the door fast. Minjun placed her gently on the soft seat and sat beside her. The door closed with a quiet sound. The car moved smoothly into the busy Seoul streets. ESI sat far away from him, crying softly. She refused to look at him. Minjun stayed silent. For 3 years he had been patient. He never touched her. He never forced anything. He waited like a man who truly cared. The big car drove through the bright lights of Seoul. Tall buildings passed by the windows. ESI's heart was full of anger and confusion. But deep down, a small feeling stirred that she did not want to name. Then Minjun's phone rang softly. He looked at it and his face became serious. He answered in quiet Korean. ESI could not understand everything, but she heard worry in his voice. When he finished the call, he turned to her. "ESI," he said gently, "something important has happened at home. We need to talk when we get there." The car continued through the night. ESI's heart beat faster. What could be so important? And why did his voice sound like that? The Maybach stopped in front of their big modern house on the quiet hill in Seoul. Tall glass windows glowed with warm lights. The garden had beautiful flowers from both Korea and Ghana that Minjun had planted himself. ESI did not wait for the driver. She opened the door and stepped out fast, her old shoes touching the clean stone path. Minjun followed behind her quietly. Inside, the house felt too big and too quiet. ESI walked straight to her small bedroom on the first floor. She had chosen this room herself on the first day of their marriage. It was simple, with her Ghanaian cloth on the wall and a small bed. She slammed the door hard. Minjun stood outside for a moment. Then he knocked softly. "ESI, please open the door. Let us talk." She opened it suddenly and pushed his chest with both hands. "Talk. Why did you come to the reunion? I did not want you there. You made me look like a weak woman who needs saving. Everyone was laughing at me before, but now they will laugh even more." Minjun caught her hands gently, but she pulled them away. "I saw how they were treating you," he said in his calm, deep voice. "I could not stay away. You are my wife." "I am not your wife in my heart," ESI shouted. Tears were still on her face. "This marriage was forced. My father gave me to your company to pay his debt. I never agreed. I never loved you. I never asked for your big house, your cars, or your money. You are proud and arrogant. You think you can just appear and fix everything with your power." She hit his chest again and again with her small fists. Minjun stood still and let her. His face showed hurt, but he did not stop her. For 3 long years he had been patient. He learned how to cook jollof rice the way her mother taught him. He bought her beautiful Kent clothes mixed with Korean silk, but she never wore them. He never once entered her room without permission. He slept alone in the big master bedroom, waiting for the day she would open her heart. Tonight, something inside him finally broke. "ESI," he said quietly, his voice tired. "I only wanted to protect your feelings. I know you did not choose me. But every day I try to show you that my love is real." "Love?" She laughed with pain. "You call this love? Forcing a woman to marry you, and then showing off at her reunion? You go where you are not wanted. Leave me alone." Minjun looked at her for a long time. His sharp eyes became soft and sad. "If my presence hurts you this much, then I will go. I have important business meetings in Busan. I will stay away for some days. Maybe the silence will help you." ESI crossed her arms. "Good. Go. I do not need you here." He nodded slowly. Without another word, he turned and walked down the long hallway. ESI heard the front door close. Then the sound of his car leaving the compound. The big house became completely silent. The first night alone, ESI felt free. She took a long shower and cooked simple rice and stew. "I am better without him," she told herself. She read an old book from Ghana and went to sleep in her small bed. But the house felt too empty. The wind outside made small sounds against the windows. On the second day, she went to her teaching job at the small international school. The children were happy to see her, but her mind kept going back to Minjun. Did he eat well? Was he sleeping? She pushed the thoughts away. I do not care, she said in her heart. By the third day, the silence started to feel heavy. She walked around the big house and saw things she had never noticed before. In the kitchen, there was a special pot he bought for making fufu and soup. In the living room, a big photo of her family from Ghana that he had framed nicely. On her bed, a soft blanket with Ghanaian patterns he ordered from Accra. She had never thanked him for any of it. That night, it rained hard in Seoul. ESI could not sleep. She sat by the window and remembered how Minjun used to sit quietly outside her door on rainy nights. He never said anything, but she knew he was there, making sure she was not afraid. She never opened the door for him. Tears came again. I do not love him, she whispered. But her heart felt different now. A small yearning started to grow. The house was too big without his quiet presence. His gentle voice. The way he called her my wife, like it was something precious. On the fourth day, her phone rang. It was her mother calling from Ghana. ESI, how are you? Minjun's assistant called me. He said your husband is not eating well in Busan. He looks sad and tired. My daughter, that man has been good to you. Even I can see his love. ESI held the phone tight. Mama, I don't know. After the call, she went to the master bedroom for the first time. It smelled like him, clean and warm, like fresh rain and soft cologne. She touched his pillow and sat on the big bed. Her heart started to hurt with missing him. On the fifth night, she wore the beautiful Kent silk dress he had made for her. It fitted perfectly. She looked at herself in the mirror and cried. What have I done? She picked up her phone many times to call him, but pride stopped her every time. He will come back when he is ready, she told herself. But deep down, she was scared he might not come back the same. That same night, around midnight, her phone lit up with a message. It was from Minjun. I miss you, ESI. But I will not come back until you want me. Take care of yourself. ESI read the message again and again. Her hands shook. The yearning in her heart grew stronger. She wanted to reply, but she did not know what to say. Then another message came. This one was from his assistant. Madam, Mr. Park has been working too much. The doctors say he needs rest. But he refuses. He says his heart is not at peace. ESI's eyes filled with tears. She stood up quickly, holding the phone to her chest. The big house felt colder than ever. For the first time, she understood how much his quiet love had filled this home. What if he became sick because of her? What if she had pushed him away forever? She whispered into the empty room. Minjun, come back. But the house stayed silent. Outside, the Seoul rain continued to fall, and ESI's heart waited with new fear and new feelings she could no longer deny. ESI stood in the middle of the quiet master bedroom, still holding her phone. The rain outside fell harder, beating against the big glass windows like many small drums. Her heart felt heavy. Minjun's message kept playing in her mind. I miss you, ESI, but I will not come back until you want me. She walked slowly around the room. Everything smelled of him. The soft cologne, the clean scent of his shirts hanging neatly in the wardrobe. She touched one shirt and held it close to her face. For 3 years she had pushed him away. Now the empty house felt like a big hole in her chest. Why am I feeling this way? She whispered. I do not love him. This marriage is forced. I should be happy he is gone. But her heart did not agree. The yearning grew stronger every hour. She remembered small things. How he learned to make kenki and groundnut soup just to please her. How he sat quietly in the garden with her Ghanaian Bible on rainy days. How he always said my wife, with soft eyes even when she shouted at him. On the 6th day, ESI could not go to work. She stayed home and wore the Kent silk dress he designed for her. It felt warm and beautiful on her skin. She looked at their wedding photo on the wall. In the picture she looked angry and stiff. Minjun looked at her with quiet love. Her mother called again from Ghana. ESI, Minjun's mother called me. She said her son is working day and night in Busan. He is not sleeping. He told her. I am waiting for ESI to open her heart. My daughter, stop fighting love. ESI cried after the call. She sat on the big bed and hugged his pillow tight. Minjun, I am sorry, she said softly. I was proud. I was angry at my father, not at you. Come back home. That night the yearning became too much. She could not eat. She could not sleep. The big house felt cold and lonely. She kept checking her phone, hoping for another message. Nothing came. On the 7th morning, ESI made a decision. She called his assistant with shaking hands. "Please tell Minjun I want to see him. I need to talk." The assistant sounded surprised but said he would pass the message. ESI waited all day. She cleaned the house. She cooked jollof rice the way he liked it, with extra spice. She even placed fresh flowers from the garden in the living room. Evening came. The sun set over Seoul, painting the sky orange and pink. Still no Minjun. ESI sat by the window, her heart beating with fear. What if he did not want to come back? What if she had lost him forever because of her pride? Then, at 9 o'clock, she heard the sound of a car. Her heart jumped. She ran to the front door and opened it. The Maybach stopped under the lights. Minjun stepped out. He looked tired. His suit was a little wrinkled and there were dark circles under his eyes. But he was still the most handsome man she had ever seen. He stopped when he saw her standing there in the Kent dress. His eyes became wide with surprise. "ESI," he said softly. She ran to him before she could think. She stopped just in front of him, tears falling down her face. "I missed you," she whispered. "These days without you, the house was too empty. I was wrong, Minjun. I was so wrong." Minjun stood still, not touching her. His patient heart was still careful. "You said you do not love me. You said this marriage is a cage." ESI took his hand and placed it on her chest so he could feel how fast her heart was beating. "I was afraid. I thought if I let myself love you, I would lose myself. But these empty days taught me something. I yearn for you. Your voice. Your kindness. The way you wait for me even when I am difficult. I love you now, Minjun, truly." For the first time in 3 years, Minjun pulled her into his arms. He held her tight, burying his face in her hair. ESI felt safe, warm, loved. She cried against his chest while he whispered gentle words in Korean and English. "I waited for this moment," he said. "Every single day. I never touched you because I wanted your heart to choose me. Not because of debt or force." ESI looked up at him. "Kiss me," she said softly. Minjun's eyes shone with love. He bent down and kissed her. The kiss was slow, sweet, and full of all the waiting. It felt like Ghanaian sunshine mixed with Korean spring rain. Warm and gentle. ESI's knees felt weak. She held him tighter, kissing him back with all the new love in her heart. They went inside the house together. ESI served him the jollof rice she cooked. They sat at the dining table and talked for hours. She told him about her fears. He told her about his love from the first day he saw her picture. "I fell in love before the marriage papers," he said with a small smile. "I told your father I would take care of you forever. Not as payment, but as my treasure." ESI smiled through happy tears. "I am sorry I took so long to see it." From that night, everything changed. ESI moved into the master bedroom. She rode in his cars without shame. She wore the beautiful clothes he bought. They traveled together, to Ghana where he met her whole family, and around Korea where she learned more about his world. One evening, months later, they stood on the balcony of their house watching the Seoul city lights. Minjun held her from behind, his arms around her waist. "Thank you for coming to the reunion that night," ESI whispered. "Thank you for never giving up on me." He kissed her neck softly. "I will always come for you, my wife. My love." ESI turned and kissed him again, deeper this time. Their love story, which started with pain and force, had become the most beautiful romance between Ghana and Korea. A story of patience winning over pride, of a billionaire who waited, and a strong Ghanaian woman who finally opened her heart. They lived happily, growing their love every day. And whenever people asked how they met, ESI would smile and say, "I was humiliated at my reunion. Then my Korean husband arrived and changed my heart forever." Moral of the story: ESI's pride and pain from the forced marriage made her blind to Minjun's genuine care for 3 whole years. She pushed away every good thing he offered because she felt trapped. But when he stepped back and left her alone, she finally felt the emptiness in her heart. The story teaches us: never let pride and past hurt close your heart to real love. Sometimes the people we fight the hardest are the ones who love us the most. Real love shows itself in patience, respect, and quiet actions, not in gifts or money. When someone truly cares, They will wait for you to choose them freely.